Welcome back to the podcast, ladies and gents. My name is Curtis and I'm the host. Today we are joined, now I must apologise because we've already had this guest in, but there's been a problem with the file, so we're having to redo it again. So please welcome DCAM Fitness owner, we've got Damien. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing great, Curtis. Thanks for having me.
Well, again, so apologies.
That's all right. That's all right.
It's great to have you back, mate, and hopefully this time we'll have the file, it'll work all good, and we'll find out about your business, mate. So do you want to give us a wee introduction as to who you are?
So my name's Damien, and yep, I'm the owner of DCAM Fitness. I've been doing this now for 7 years. Personal trainer and based out in Hillington. So yeah, I've been doing it for 7 years. Love my job, love what I do. I'm very inspiring, and I just love helping people. Yep.
Fantastic. So PT, where are you based? You said Hillington, but have you got a certain? Is that a certain like a gym that you work out of, or?
So yeah, so I'm based in Hillington. It's called CrossFit Paisley. It used to be Origins,
Right, okay.
Fitness, and then it changed to CrossFit Paisley. So I've got a little kind of private PT studio in the big warehouse gym, which is perfect.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really good. It's very good and personal, and really gets in a more kind of one-to-one group sort of basis. Whereas it's just us. There's not like the intimidation of a big gym. It's just nice and private. It's just me, the guys, or one-to-one PT, whatever kind of suits the person, what they're looking for. And I know it's great, and we've got all the equipment that we need in the wee room. So no, it's ideal. It's
a wee safe space then for everybody to kind of come in.
That's a better way to put it. So people can come in and they can relax, and gyms can be intimidating. So we're based in 22 Arrowhead Road in Hillington. So it's great. People love it because, again, it's just kind of takes away that. Some people find gyms intimidating, which I completely understand, whereas they come in and it's just the two of us, or as again groups, then no, it's ideal. It's great.
Oh, cool, mate. Definitely, I think that's it, and it's great that you've found an area where you can make your own as well. You know what I mean? You're in a gym where people then can go to the gym probably afterwards if they do their sessions as well, which is obviously handy to have. So no, that's absolutely brilliant. How did the business come about? First of all,
so I was a road worker for 15 years, and I played football, and then I played squash, and I was always into my fitness. More so, I was more into how to keep fit. And it used to fascinate me how the human body works, and it still does, and always will. And nutrition wise, and then I just didn't like the job I was in. It was a very negative environment, which I think we're surrounded a lot by, unfortunately. Whereas I was decided, you know what, this isn't for me anymore. Took the gamble, left a full-time job to go part-time, and then was doing that for about a year in a council gym, and then decided to go, do you know what, I'm going to go self-employed, go for this. And then went for it 7 years, and yes, one of the best decisions I've ever made.
So no looking back then?
No, not looking back. The people that I've met, the people that I've helped, it's amazing. It's great to have a job where people thank you for it at the end. Instead of when I worked in the roads, there was no thank you. It was never a thank you.
You're just expected to do a job, and say the environment. I imagine it probably wasn't the nicest of environment. I'd imagine there would have been a lot of stress involved, especially with roads these days. I mean, I think we literally all walk outside and complain about every road being closed at the minute. Seems like Paisley's doing this at the minute. Not blaming anyone, but they know who they are. So that must have been, especially your mental health, which is such a big thing these days, that must have been quite damaging.
Do you know, Curtis, you don't realise till you leave. And it's because I think, mentioned this before, but if you're surrounded by 5 negative people, you become the 6.
Aye.
If you're surrounded by 6 positive, the 5 positive people, you become the 6. So you don't, because it's work and you're in it for so long, you just get used to it and you think this is a norm. And then when you leave and, you try and do something, it's like, oh, wait a minute, this is new. This is actually how this works, and I recommend to anybody, because I think you spend 40% of your life in your job. It's easier said than done, but happiness is everything. It really is. It's so important, especially in life, and it was to leave and to do now what I love. It was just, it was a tough decision at the time, but I'm glad I did it.
And as you say, there's no looking back now. You're moving forward.
Yeah.
And I think as well, you're getting the enjoyment out of changing people's lives.
Absolutely.
Which comes with being a PT. you're not in it for a quick fix, and it's not like a quick turnaround process. You're there to shape a person, into becoming a better version of themselves, whether it be through fitness or even just through mentally.
Absolutely. 100%.
So how do you go about then helping, let's say, a client achieve their goals?
So the another great thing about the job is everyone's different.
Mm-hmm.
So the person that comes through the door, they're completely different from the person that came before. So the first thing I would do is I do a health questionnaire first. I send them that, and it's quite in depth to get them to fill out and be as detailed as possible. And then there's also a personality question I like them to fill out so I can get to know them and how they work, because everybody learns differently.
Mm-hmm.
There's visual learners, there's theory learners. You know, me myself personally, I'm a visual learner.
I'm more of a practical learner.
Yeah,
I couldn't do the sitting down and thing. I've got to be practically doing it. Like,
yeah, exactly. So if you were to write something down on a whiteboard, I wouldn't take it in.
Yeah, exact same.
If you show me, I'll go, right, okay, I know how I'm doing this. Whereas if I get this information before I see the client, then it's so much better for the journey for them.
Yep.
So once we establish that, and then the health questionnaire, get to know if they've any injuries, you know, their past, their eating habits, their eating patterns, then it gives me an idea of who's coming through the door. And then we sit down, have a one-to-one chat, see what their goals are, what's been holding them back before, have they been in the gym before? And then once we get all as much information as you can, that's when I'll start to go, right, how can I get this client to achieve their goal, whatever that may be. All goals are different. You know, it could be weight loss, fat loss, getting fitter, walking, mental health. You know, there's every goal is different. And yeah, so I think the key is just getting as much information as I can.
I think a lot of it as well, like, comes down to motivation.
Yeah.
We do struggle a lot to be motivated about exercising. I love the idea of exercising. However, when it comes to actually doing the exercise, I sometimes put it off, which I can imagine a lot of people will do, especially when they're working full long days as well. And then the last thing they want to do is go to a gym at the end of the night. And as you say, you could go into any gym, there might not be that nice environment and things like that. So my question to you is, with motivation, is there something or some things that people can do to remain consistent with what they're doing, like to what they're doing, or the journey they're on? Or would you say that has to be something that they identify rather than you telling them, listen, you need to do it, like, let's be consistent about it? Is there something that you would recommend that people would do, or is it just down to the individual themselves?
The key word there that you said is consistency. That's where the results come, you know, because I like to say it's a lifestyle change we're making here. It's not, you know, a quick fix. Some people want that, that's fine, that's their choice. But for me, it's making the lifestyle change, and motivation is the hardest part, exactly as you said. If people have got a really stressful job, you know, and if it's not working for them coming at nights, the best thing I would recommend is coming in the morning, getting it done. For me personally, I prefer doing it in the morning, because the longer, if I don't do it in the morning, the longer I've got more chance of talking myself out of it. And it's just trying to keep people motivated. But the thing, if you get to know the most about the client individual, then you can see how it works with the health, the personality questionnaire. It gives you so much information to realise what puts them off. So, for example, if I was to say, don't do that, which I would never say, you know, people would get their back up and say, well, you know, I don't. But if you word it in a better way of saying, how did you feel about not coming to the gym? And then they would answer, because my work was busy. That's okay, that's fine. And it's just trying to put the emphasis onto the client and give them the options, because they know the answers. You know, I feel personally, if you, some PTs know that it's like a dictatorship. You need to do this.
Yep.
And that would put me off, because people's lives are busy, families, you know, single parents, busy job, getting a wee hour to themselves is really, really tough. But when they do come to the gym and get themselves into the gym, they feel fantastic because it's their time.
Yep.
You know, and it's just trying to keep that motivation of, I know it's hard to come, but think of how good you feel at the end of the workout. You feel great, you feel fantastic, the endorphins kick in, you feel as if you've achieved something, you start seeing results. You know, it's it's just trying to just let them always see the end goal and changing their lifestyle and creating this new habit, if that makes sense.
Aye, because obviously with scheduling and things like that, like, people do have different, you know, people with kids, people have got different jobs. We all work different hours of the day. There's no, you know, I mean, not everybody works a 9 to 5 sort of idea. So scheduling, as I say, trying to fit in a session is obviously good. And when you do your own sessions with your own clients, do you tend to book it around them, or do you have like set availability that you would say, I can only do this sort of point, so you've got to book them in? Or are you quite flexible when you're working around with different clients?
So I've set times,
Right.
so mornings or nights. So it's again 9 to 5 is people. So that's the kind of times that a lot of people can do. Whereas early mornings, so for example 6, 7, 8 in the morning before a lot of people start, or it's after 5, 6 o'clock. 7, 8, and 9, and it's what suits. Whereas if you've, say, a 12-week block, and if you schedule all out, this is the 12 weeks that we're going to be doing. Here is the differences, hopefully, that we'll see, like mobility-wise, strength-wise, core strength, nutrition. You'll start seeing the journey if you have it out in front of them first. And so this is the first block, 4 weeks. This is building the technique, the building blocks. Go into the second block of 8 weeks, then you start seeing the strength improving, the clothes fitting better, the scales coming down. In the 12 weeks, we start really seeing the differences, as long as, again, that keyword consistency.
No, and that's it. It is about being consistent. So probably everybody, obviously, body different. We've literally just discussed that there. So do you have a recommendation on how much someone should exercise, like how much or how little they do? Obviously, I know that comes down to individual and what their goals are and things like that, but do you have a certain like ballpoint where you're like, look, maybe you should try it just 1 or 2 times a week? You know what I mean? Like, I know the kind of, there's like an average as such, and how much, depending obviously what size, and
Yeah, of
you
course.
kind of what it is you're looking for goal wise. So is there, when you talk to clients realistically, do you give them, I'd say, like, this is the day, or like you should be exercising for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, or is that again down to your personal questionnaire form?
Yeah, because it's people's lifestyles. But one thing I always say to people is, I don't know how many, I think it's 160 hours in a week. You only come to see me those 2 hours. 2 hours out of those 160. It's not really what you do in the gym that'll get you the results. What you do at the gym that'll get you the result. Or if for example, if someone comes in and they've not, they just sit, do a 9 to 5 job, sit at their desk, go home, and then just sit and don't really keep active at all. Whereas creating the new habit of going for a wee walk, getting the steps in, things like that, and going, look, this is where we need to try and make the changes. It's what you're doing out with the gym. If you come to the gym, sure, we'll get you strong, we'll get you fit. But if you want to get the really good results, it's what you do out with the gym, with those lots of hours that you've got. It's even, a lot of people put too much pressure on trying to do the 10,000 steps, because if you haven't done that in 10 years, you're never going to do that in 2 months. Never.
How many people did it make you feel bad that you've not done 10,000 steps? I currently work an office job as well, and there's people going like, oh yeah, I hit my 10,000, I've went way above it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm at a desk all day, so I'm like, I've only literally hit about 2,000, and that's probably from 8 in the morning to like last thing at night.
Yep.
I'm like, just because obviously it's not that. So
life's it's just your job. There's nothing you can do. And then the thing with that is it makes you feel bad.
yes,
And then the mental health comes down, and what happened with comfort? We start going, oh, I'm not doing my 10,000 steps. But if your lifestyle at the moment doesn't get you to achieve that, then try and 3,000 or 5,000. The thing for me is, I just want someone to go a 10-minute walk, because life gets on top of you. Life's tough. It's, we've good days, we've bad days. Whereas if you get yourself out in the fresh air, whether it's raining, cold, just go for a 10-minute walk, and you'll see the difference in your mental health. Just going, right, I'm going to go a walk. And that little sense of achievement, just 10 minutes. Then when you start feeling the differences of, I feel good, that made me feel great. Then you start going for a 50-minute walk, a 20-minute walk, because you're enjoying it. And you're feeling the benefits. The mental health's great. You're starting to sleep better. Your mood's better. You're more productive. And that's just all from starting off with a 10-minute walk. And it's amazing. It really is.
It's amazing that the most simple things are in helping you achieve your goals. Whereas for too long that we've probably been guided that you have to go to the gym. You've got to do a 45-minute, 10-hour session. You've got to hammer the weights and stuff like that. Because let's be honest, you go to your typical gym, sometimes you can't get into the weights because somebody's been there all day. So you're pretty much painting a kind of unrealistic goal, you know what I mean, there for someone.
yeah.
So it's nice just to hear that you're encouraging those to just do the simple things. The thing is, walking's free.
Exactly.
You can go outside, you can do it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to go and drive to the nearest park or whatever. I mean, yeah, that's nice for scenery and things, but like you can go outside your doorstep. Like you are allowed to do these things. These are free to do.
It's, do you know what, Curtis? It's the simple things. Whereas next time you go to a supermarket, how close do you park to the door?
Well, it depends. Depends what space wise is. Not Aldi's like sometimes.
True. That's a new car park. So you've got no. Whereas if you look like, so say for example, Silverburn or the shopping areas, if you look at the furthest away car parking space, they're always empty. Park right at the back and walk down, and that's it. That's a 5-minute, 10-minute walk there and back, and that's it. That's a wee bit extra steps.
And you'll probably protect your car as well from someone dinging it.
Yeah, exactly. There'll be no doors hitting off your car, so. No, so it's the simple things, just tiny wee changes. That's it.
Tiny wee changes, but as well as obviously changing your fitness and things, nutrition.
Oh yeah,
massive part when it comes to weight loss in particular, and your fitness and your general health. I see that you offer. Well, do you happen to offer nutrition advice when you're doing the PT session, or is this a separate service that someone could come to you? Say someone's in the gym all the time, but maybe their nutrition isn't the best. Do you have advice that you can give them, or that someone could contact you to even just chat over what they're doing?
Absolutely. There was a gentleman came and saw me yesterday regarding nutrition. So I've got loads of recipes. I think I've got 120 recipes, vegan, vegetarian, normal ones. I've got the barcode that scans MyFitnessPal.
Oh, brilliant.
So it automatically goes on to that. I've also got an app, whereas, so if you were to come in and I would say, right, let's have a look at your body metrics, then I would create what your macros is daily on workout days and non-workout days. So say 2000. Whereas the app links to MyFitnessPal and your iWatch and Fitbits and things. So what happens, I can see your daily activities. So if you're at Damien, I'm working all day, I'm not going to get a chance to get my steps in. That's okay, Curtis, don't worry. I can see that. I go, so what we'll do is we'll just bring down a wee calories that day because you're not very active.
It's quite clever, that. So you can keep an eye on what's perfect.
And so what I like people to do is send me pictures of what they eat, and it automatically pings on my watch. Then I can see the portion sizes and go, okay, Curtis, let's cut back a wee bit of carbs here because we're not very active. So carbs is a fat source. You're storing the fat. That's what we want to try and cut out. And then, but the main thing is educating the client. My goal is to however long it takes. If a client says to me, Damien, I know how to do this now. I don't need you anymore. My job's done. And if they keep fit, healthy for the rest of their lives, mobile, and, for myself getting older, my goal is I still want to be playing with my grandkids when I'm 70, 80, be mobile, be able to go down and pick things up. Whereas if you see the kind of generations of like grannies and grandpas and things like that, a lot of them are looking really frail because they've not been to the gym and things like that. But now we're getting a lot better at it. People are wanting to go to the gym for these things, and I was listening to
people are realising the kind of longevity that they're getting with their life as well, and I think like you've just kind of hit the nail on the head there. Grandkids and things like
that's that. But nutrition is massively key for that. So what I try and do is get to know, because what people don't do is they don't tell you their bad days, but they should. If they had the Scottish diet, own sausage and, or a breakfast and the stuff, that's okay. That's all right.
Do you know what I had for my breakfast this morning? Just in case you were just trying to fling me under the bus there.
Not at all. But that's all right. That's okay. It's people think that's bad. It's just making small changes, because again, we're busy.
We talk about a balanced diet as well.
Absolutely. And then, whereas you're not going to be able to eat which I don't like people saying is chicken and rice. You're not going to eat that for the rest of your life. You shouldn't be eating that anyway, to be honest. Because there's so many amazing recipes, healthy recipes out there that you can be making that just keeps you away from the plain food that you're never going to stick to, and you're just going to resent it. But then I'll just
become dead bored. It's routine.
Absolutely. Whereas there was the recipes, the ones that I give that. You'll be amazed at how nice some of the foods are, like pizzas, burgers, all these things that you can't eat. It's just finding your balance of exercise, calories in and calories out. It's just I'm sure you've heard of the That's just finding that balance of what suits the person's lifestyle. And then, yep.
No, I think that's it. It's interesting. People automatically just think as soon as they put themselves onto. Now, I know we don't like the word diet as such or anything like that. They automatically go, I can't have this. I can't have that. I've got to do this and stuff. But my personal opinion is, I think if you cut that out straight away, and you're not, as you say, portion control is a big, massive thing, especially in Scotland. I would say we're very much. You know what I mean? I think that's why everybody hates Jamie Oliver as such. You know what I mean? Because the man has taken away certain things from us. But to be honest, it's actually going to do us better in the long run.
Yeah.
And if you do want to have a longer life and you want to have a healthier life, then you have to do these things.
Yeah.
These are the things that are going to change it. And I'm guilty for it some days. There's days where I come in from work and I'm like, can't be bored, just get this and I'll get that and I'll quickly fling in this rather than actually taking the time to maybe prepare things. Now, on the opposite hand, my partner Rebecca, she's great at preparation and like that. She has a great mindset when it comes to doing it. So I think we balance each other there in a good sense. But I think you're allowed to have bad days as well.
Absolutely,
as well as good.
No, because as I said, you'll never maintain it. You can never maintain. The thing about it, when your nutrition's good and you see how good you feel, with your sleeping pattern changes, your energy levels are higher. So there's a welcome pack I send out to everyone, and there's nutrition density and energy density. So nutrition density is like a homemade cooked meal. So for example, see a nice stir fry with broccoli, bulbs, things like that. Nice wholesome food with good nutrition, green sort of veg and things like that. Whereas your body will feel fuller for longer because it's getting more nutrients out of that. Whereas there's energy density, like our own sausage and things, there's no nutrients in that, so it just comes straight through your body. So you feel hungrier quicker. But that's the wee tiny things that they teach people, and then they'll realise, if I eat this, I'm not going to be full. Whereas if I go around there and have, say, a salad roll with lettuce, tomato, cucumber, there's more nutrients in that, and I'm going to feel fuller for longer. I'm not going to go to the cravings of, the sweets, crisps, these things.
McDonald's is a big one for it.
Absolutely.
I would say. How many times have you had a McDonald's and then you come after it and say about an hour later you're like, I'm starving.
Yep.
And you've just spent all that money getting a McDonald's because it's not cheap as what it used to be. I know it's cheap, but it's not cheap as what it used to be.
No.
So I'm like, you're spending that money, whereas you could probably take that. Let's say if it's a family, that £20 to £30 worth of order that you've put there for everybody, you could prepare that. Like that could be preparation for a good couple of days there.
Yeah.
And you're sorted. I think it's the time.
Absolutely.
You just need to make that time and preparing your meals and taking a bit of extra care on what you're doing. No, I think that's it. Down to consistency.
As because my two kids, my wife went swimming yesterday, and after swimming you're always hungry. So
I've talked about that in the radio this morning when I was driving over.
Yeah, so you're really hungry, and the kids are getting cranky. So I've not prepared Tupperware tubs and go, right, kids, this is what we're going to eat. So we went to McDonald's, and I'll happily admit we went to McDonald's because I'm a human being. People think that
we all like it.
Absolutely, and the kids were happy, we were happy. Whereas there's a things that I send to people as well regarding your food outlets. It's all calories. So I had the chili chicken wrap. I had 6 chicken nuggets, but I knew what my calories were. Yes, sure, it wasn't nutrition density, but
it's still
my kids were happy.
Your goal.
My wife was happy.
Your calorie
calories were enough, so that was fine. I didn't feel guilty about it. And it's just having that known. Okay, so I've allowed 2,500 today. I've just had 1,200 McDonald's, and I'm happy.
That's it.
And it's just having that knowledge to go, right, it's okay, I can do that, because it's just saying McDonald's, we enjoy it, and family life, kids, it's just just time. You feed the kids.
So like that, we just obviously spoke about like calorie counting and things like that as well, which is a massive part of what you're doing and things like that. But there's also the other bits and bobs with the carbs and things like that you have to watch. I know you said MyFitnessPal, is that the app that you would recommend people would use, or do you have anything else? I know you've said that you've got, is it your own app, or is it, do you have something that works with MyFitnessPal, like joins together with that? Is it?
So it's someone I use, so it's my logo that's on it and things like that, but it's another company that I use to do it.
Right, okay.
And they link all these things, the phones and watches, because again, the more data I can see on a weekly basis is the more I can help. And the more data people put in, the better. Okay. But again, I understand you're not going to about with your friends, in McDonald's and or having a few beers and taking a photo of every single beer. It's like, I'm like, you understand.
Random text at 3 in the morning.
2 minutes, guys. I need to take a photo of this. 2 minutes, guys. I need to take a photo. So it's being realistic as well. People. There's a quote one of my PTs said to me, which was great. He says, "There's option one. You're all in and you go for it for 3 to 4 weeks. You don't see results, then you quit. There's option two, whereas you be patient, you take your time, you be realistic. Sure, you have McDonald's. Sure, there's days you're not going to exercise. But see if you just do a 10-minute walk every day, if it's as simple as that, and try and be good most days and bad less days, you'll get results."
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
That's it.
Exactly. I love that saying.
Nah, that's so true. It's so true.
And I think we're very impatient people and want results quick.
Yeah.
And that's why you tend to find people going away abroad and getting things done to themselves and changes, whereas in the long run, that's not good for you.
No.
And if anything, that's going to have a big, massive impact, not only in your health, mental health and things like that, but just your lifestyle. Yep. Your lifestyle is going to change massively because of it. Do you happen to, so obviously with the PT, you're kind of like a lifestyle coach as well. I know you maybe don't advertise as a lifestyle coach, but do you offer, is it just one-to-one sessions or do you do group sessions?
So I do both. I find group better because it's more affordable. So at the moment I'll do morning groups, 3 to 4 people maximum, because I think 4 is the maximum you can do to make it individual. I think more than that's quite tough to look at your technique, and if you're
so you've only got two eyeballs, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You kind of keep an eye on.
Yeah. And if you're squatting differently, then I need to be on top of that to go, right, Curtis, we need to change whatever it is we need to change. But I suppose if you've got more than 4, you can't manage that. And then that's where people, because as much as you want them to change their lifestyle nutrition wise, you want to make sure their technique's spot on when they go to the gym. Because everybody's built differently, everybody's hips are different, they're just built different. Ankle mobility, knee mobility, hip mobility, all these things, backs and stuff. So it's just making sure that's right. So yeah, I do the groups in the morning, and also do one-to-one. The groups are more affordable because it's like 75% less than it is one-to-one. Yep. Whereas one-to-one's obviously it's all about you. It's your time. It's your time, and it's just me and the one-to-one person would delve deep into the individual. Whereas with groups, it's more community, which is what I'm trying to build. Is I've got the 2 groups and we're having a night out coming up soon and stuff like that, and I'd like to do a Tough Mudder next year with the guys and just make it all communities. Some of the guys are going out together having a cup of tea, and it's amazing, whereas people, again, busy lifestyles and just don't have time because they're kids, whereas making time for you makes it so much better.
So are these random individuals that are coming to classes, or do you tend to find that it's like a group of friends that would book in with you?
So no, it's just different people. So for example, the girls who are training, they've just became friends through the groups, and they support each other, and on the bad days they'll have the wee group chat and say, look, you're okay, you'll get through this, everything's great, and it's just supporting, and we'll meet up for a coffee, why don't we meet up for a walk? And brilliant, and it's great to see that.
It's nice that you're building a community.
Yeah, it's amazing, Curtis. It's very rewarding.
And I think that's it. The more people that you have a network of support around you, the more that you're going to be focused on your goals.
Absolutely.
When it comes to fitness,
and
your lifestyle choices.
It's the 6 positive people.
That's it. All ties down.
That's it.
I like that saying. That's nice.
I know. I like it as well.
Do you have a favourite thing about being a PT? I know you kind of touched on it, and you're helping shape people there, but is there something else that just inside you is just like, this is why I want to do it. This is why I love it.
For me, the best part of the job is I would say I'm good at reading people. If someone walks in, and you can just see with their body language, they're down. They're really, really, really down today. And it's, how can I make them leave here on a high? And it's, for me, when someone comes in and whatever life's threw at them that day, or, whatever's happened, they come into the gym with myself for the hour, and then they leave buzzing, happy. That for me is the most rewarding thing in the world. I just think to myself, they've come in, had a horrible day, but they've left going, I feel amazing. Sometimes it's just talking, having somebody to vent to while working out, and is people deal with their problems differently. Some people are deeper, some people are not. Some people just want to be pushed hard and then they feel great after. Some people just want to sit and talk to you and tell them this is what's going on, and through life experience helping them and letting them tell the story, whatever it is they're going through. And then at the end of the session, I just say, thanks, Damien. I feel great. I feel amazing. And they're bouncing back out the door.
I love that.
No,
You're changing people's lives
exactly.
at the end of the day, so, and their outlook on life as well.
Yeah, and then you get the text about an hour later saying, Damien, I can't thank enough for that session. That was amazing. You really cheered my day up, and it's amazing. That's so rewarding, and it's and that's what I love about my job.
Brilliant, mate.
Yeah,
brilliant. No, and it's nice. It's nice. I've seen your socials and things, and it's nice with community and stuff that you're building up there. And long may it continue.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Have you got any future plans for DCAM Fitness?
So it's just I'm thinking I'm looking at maybe a bit online stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about that.
Just because the way the world's changing at the moment, or
yeah, and again, it goes down to gyms are busy.
Yeah,
they're really, especially your big commercial gyms now, and I'm hearing a lot of. Whereas, and sort of the younger generation that get into the gym, which is a wonderful thing, but again, for people over the age of 30, 35, it can be even more intimidating. Can't get on what they want to do. Whereas I think this could maybe be an option. But it's how I would like to, when I do online, I want to make sure I can see them moving right and they're getting the technique right. Whereas 1-to-1, you can see that.
Yeah.
Whereas online be more difficult, and it's just trying to find a balance of, right, how can I make this personal so that they're not,
how can I give you the same experience
exactly
that I would do on face to face online?
Exactly. And keep people safe. Nutrition should be fine, but it's just the movement patterns.
Yeah,
that's what is making me. I need to think of how I can work that.
And that's it. And I think there's plenty of guidance out there as well. So don't beat yourself down about it too much. I think as well, got on YouTube and things like that. You know what I mean? YouTube's, for me, I always recommend YouTube. It's one of the best search engines out there.
Yeah.
Other than Google, definitely YouTube, because you'll tend to see people give you the exact instructions that you're looking for.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a fantastic idea. You're becoming more available as well. And you'll fit into people's times as well. So those that maybe can't get along personally, definitely, I think you're on a winner there, my friend.
No, well, fingers crossed, got his fingers crossed. But no, it's the same because YouTube, and again, visual, I need to see it.
Yep.
And to see the movement, and that's where it will be better for me. So, yeah, that's the plan. And keep doing the groups, keep doing 1-to-1. So, aye.
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. So just again, we touched on it at the very start, where can we find you? Where are you based again?
So I'm based in Hillington, the Hillington Industrial Estate. This is a good advert for PT. See where the Burger King is? Next to that. So that turn off, you come straight up the road, 22 Errolhaig Road. It's CrossFit Paisley. And I should mention my wonderful owner of CrossFit, Graham. Big shout out to Graham because he's helped me out massively, and I wouldn't be here today without him.
Thanks very much, Graham. Thank you.
Thanks, Graham. No, he's a wonderful man. So yeah, 22 Errolhaig Road. It's called CrossFit Paisley. I've got my own little unit. Or sort of my own kind of personal studio. Yep, Graham's let me have that, which is amazing. So yeah, that's where I'm based.
Brilliant. And for anybody that wants to come along, get involved within the PT and involved in the group sessions, how would they do that? What's your socials, or have you got a website? So
the website's changing just now because of online, so that can be available so that's getting rebuilt just now. But to get in touch, just DCAM Fitness, put it into Google, you'll find me on there, or Instagram, Facebook, private message me through there. All the details are through the socials and Google, and I'll get back to you ASAP.
There you go, folks. So DCAM Fitness, all the socials, get involved. Definitely, if you want to change your lifestyle, let's not just say get fit. If you want to change your lifestyle and give yourself a better chance at life, let's say, then definitely get involved. And I'm sure that they can have a consultation as such with you beforehand, rather than just jumping in as well, because you'll get a chance to meet the person, and you'll get a chance to meet Damien as well. And I think that's it. You've got to make sure that it's both right for you. Absolutely. Probably something that I would recommend. You'd probably recommend as well. Yeah. So, listen, mate, thank you very much for coming along again today. Apologies about last time. Well, obviously, not apologies for last time, apologies for the fail. But thanks very much for agreeing to come back on. I really do appreciate it. And for anybody, again, listening, if you are listening on Spotify or Apple or any other streaming platforms, please feel free to drop us a review. 5 stars preferably, obviously, because I mean, we've had Damien in the studio again twice now, so if anything it should be 10 stars. As well as that, if you're listening to this or watching on YouTube, please feel free to drop a subscribe, totally free to do so. And again, you can catch up to date with all the other podcasts as well, and drop a like as well. But listen, thanks very much again, mate.
No,
Much appreciated. Thank you very much for coming,
much.
and we'll see you again in the next time. Cheers.